Well, good morning, everyone. Once again, hope you're having a great start to your day. We appreciate you guys more than you know as you get your notifications here this morning. And say we're live here on Facebook and soon to be a podcast, the Doctors in Podcast. Okay, Brahim, I don't know how you did it, but you got back up to number 1. Amber, right at the top. Michael from Norland. Andrea. I always laugh because I don't know how you guys do it. And Amber has snuck her way into the top. Good for you. Bonnie, Janice, and Nativity. Good morning. And Kevin, there he is from Oshawa. And Madeleine, Kippewa, Quebec. How are you? Francis Marie, we love you dearly. Nick from our staff. Wendy, Markham, and Donna from Park Hill, good morning. Fran from Orangeville, and Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. It's like I know all of you guys. Dan, Mara, Ottawa, I'd love to meet you personally for those that I haven't already. Crystal from Saskatchewan. Maureen, I've met you. Boca Raton. Was that Marla or Mary? I missed it. Karen, Kathy, and John, Elgin, Illinois. I've known John for a long time. Karen, Innisfil, Cheryl, West Virginia. Cheryl, love to see you in person someday. Rita, Laura, good morning. Arlene, nice to have you on this morning. Marilyn from PEI. Brandon, how are you? Heather, Mira, Mishi. Mira Mishi, I know. Rose, Iad, how are you? And Marcy, and Brahim saying in heaven we're going to meet. Yeah, that's Kathy, Port Perry, Arlene. Maybe not before that, right? Kevin, Michael, okay, you guys are talking to each other. Bonnie and Alain and Meta, I don't know. I got to get who came up first. Hi, Gail. Hi, Sharon. And Nellie, we love you guys. We appreciate you. Eod's from Connecticut. Annette. Lorraine Oshawa. Judy from the clouds in New Brunswick. Dave, how are you? And Lise is saying hello. Okay, let's get going. Sue, how are you? Carol, how is Tiffany? Well, thank you for asking. Patricia. Patricia. 2 Patricias in a row. Barbara. And Cheryl. And Carol, Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. And Jocelyn from Baxter. And Francis, we appreciate you guys dearly. Okay. Well, thank you, by the way, for asking about my daughter. As I think a lot of you know, was in her whole family was involved in a serious car accident, hit by a transport from behind on September 1st. How they lived through that is a miracle. There's no other word to describe it. Amazing miracle. But Tiffany got the brunt, although her husband was fairly seriously injured. The injuries have come out more afterwards, internal injuries. But yeah, Tiffany has got, really catastrophic injuries. But she's got such a great attitude, and she is, amazing. And we're so proud of her, and she's got a long road ahead. But anyway, thank you for asking, and don't stop praying. We appreciate it. We really consider our audience here at the Doctors in like family, and I let you in on a little family business today, okay? And I know many of you have gone through some very severe trials, and I appreciate you guys. It's an encouragement to me. Thank you. Okay, let's talk again. Okay, so this is a 3-part series. We started part 1 yesterday, and we were talking about, I don't know if this is the world's view on things, but it's certainly mine. And the 3 worst medications on the planet. Okay? Today we're going to do number 2, and that is statin drugs. Now, they're not necessarily in order. I just put them in the top 3. Tomorrow you'll be surprised a little bit that I have, antibiotics. But we're going to talk about that because I never tell people not to take an antibiotic. I don't do it. And because antibiotics can save your life. But we're going to look tomorrow at a huge, huge side effect. And it's unfortunate that side effect doesn't have to be. Anyway, but I put it there near the top because of the amount of damage that's been done. That's what I look at. Okay? So the top 3, yesterday we talked about PPIs, proton pump inhibitors. There ought to be, what is one of the worst things that ever happened is that you can actually get this stuff over the counter. Okay? I think you can get Nexium, if I'm not mistaken, over the counter. I am so reluctant to ever recommend these things. They are so dangerous, a PPI, okay? We talked about it yesterday because your body is made, your stomach was made for a boatload of acid. Like really, you need acid to be in your stomach. And people, because number one reason, they eat the wrong foods and they live on carbs rather than protein and fat, because they do that, their acidity in their stomach rises, okay? The pH rises. Their stomachs become more alkaline. They're still acidic, but they're more alkaline than they should be. That's the worst thing that can happen in your stomach. And then you get acid reflux, which are proton pumps in your stomach, just trying to make up for the acidity that you don't have. Okay? And then the geniuses came out with PPIs, proton pump inhibitors. They block the acid. You get relief. Oh, Dr. Martin, I get relief. Yeah, I know. And acid's no fun. I get it. But the long-term effects are legion. And now they're showing. Okay, because we've had a lot of years to study these things. Very much connected, and I talked about this yesterday, 40% increase in heart attack and strokes. And a 40% after 4 years of using these, and a lot of people are on these for years and years. They can't live without them, they tell people. I can't live without those. And they get a 40% increase in Alzheimer's. Why is that? Because when you or someone takes a PPI, you do not absorb calcium properly, magnesium properly, selenium, your thyroid needs selenium, iodine, your thyroid needs selenium and iodine. The thyroid slows to a crawl. Your B vitamins are not absorbed, especially B12. You need B vitamins. And because a little red light don't go off on the top of someone's head, well, I'm not getting any real side effects except relief. Now, it's long-term side effects. And I really believe they're part of the parcel of autoimmune. And remember, your acidity in your stomach is a big, big, big part of your immune system. Man, that's the first place when you touch your nose or whatever, and these viruses and bacteria get in your body and you're exposed to that. Your acidity in your stomach is one of your biggest defenses. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand that. They've never been told that. The layperson hasn't been told that. So they think PPIs, hey, if I can get them over the counter, or my doctor says continue with these, not looking at all at long-term side effects, okay? Now, let's look at the second one, because this one won't surprise you, okay? Because anybody that's followed me for any length of time at all will know that this is a medication that I literally hate. I hate it. I don't like PPIs. I hate statin drugs. Okay? I hate them. Okay? And I don't believe that anybody should be on a statin drug. Okay? They've been, let me quote myself a few times, the biggest failure in recorded medical history are statin drugs. They work. They lower cholesterol. 100% they do. They work. They'll lower your cholesterol. And so what? What does that do for you? Other than make you sick. Okay? I'm going to give you, I've written down 12 reasons or 12 side effects of statin drugs that are well established and very unfortunate. And listen, tomorrow when we talk about antibiotics work. And they save millions of people's lives. So how could I be against them? I'm not against them. Okay? The first two medications, PPIs, and now statin drugs, the problem is the benefits pale in comparison to the side effects of these medications, okay? The benefit of a PPI is very temporary. It gives you relief from heartburn and acid reflux. I get it. Yes, it works for that. But, and it's a big but, horrendous side effects. And the more they study PPIs, the worse it gets. Not good at all. And you know what? I've been screaming that for 40 years or more. Now we get to statin drugs, and guys, you know me, it's every week, sometimes daily, I talk about cholesterol. Why? I'm into food. I got a PhD in food, in nutrition, clinical nutrition. How can you not talk about cholesterol if you're into clinical nutrition? You have to talk about it. Why? Because you eat cholesterol. 85% your body makes. God gives you 85%. You need to provide 15. If you don't eat cholesterol, and reminder, okay, that cholesterol is found in the animal kingdom of foods. It's not found in the plant kingdom. So you're eating, let's say you don't eat meat, okay? I feel sorry for you. But if you don't, you're not going to drop dead right away. Your body provides 85% of your cholesterol. You're expected to provide 15%. If you don't know it. Again, there's no light that comes on and says, eat more cholesterol. It should, but you don't have that, you know? And so if you don't eat it, you're not going to drop dead right away. Right away. But cholesterol is found in every cell in your body. Cholesterol, your brain's made up of cholesterol and DHA. You're a fathead, or you should be. And unfortunately, we live in a society today where big pharma is so strong. And I talked to a young lady yesterday. I said, well, and I even mentioned this, like big pharma has hijacked the healthcare industry. They've hijacked it. And I'm just a little wee guy spreading a message. And I understand, you know, I'm in a minority. That's all right. I can live with that. I understand that. I understand what I'm up against. But I'm an information guy. And I want my audience to think, to use the gray matter that God has given you. Okay? I want you to use it. And I know it is almost impossible to fight the establishment in medicine when it comes to statin drugs. Like they would put it in the drinking water if they could. And actually, I've told you this before, but in England, it actually went, in the United Kingdom, it went to a vote to put it in the water. In the United Kingdom. My head exploded. If you think Dr. Martin gets migraines, you should have seen when I saw that news article. But it don't surprise me, because the world's gone stupid on cholesterol. Being a bad guy when it's a good guy. I always tell people, okay? Or ask people, why do you want to lower your cholesterol? And I wait for the answer. Okay? Why do you want to lower it? If I get any physician, why do you want to lower it? Oh, heart disease. Oh yeah? Well, how's that working for you? How's that working for you? Heart disease. How's that working for you? It's worse than ever. And statins have been around for 40 years. We haven't even made a dent. The only dent that was made in heart disease, and it only lasted for a blimp. You know what the dent was? When people got the memo to stop smoking. Here we are today, guys. And we got more heart disease than ever. It's still the number one killer. And it's sad. I call it looking for love in all the wrong places. That's what that medicine does. It's looking for love in all the wrong places. And you can ask tens of thousands of my patients over the years. I was consistent. Okay? I was consistent. I don't like that drug. If you take it, okay? Because a lot of people, they're scared skinny. And I get it. They're scared skinny of their doctor. And I don't want to get a heart attack. I don't want you to get a heart attack either. And like I said, do I tell people not to take antibiotics? Of course not. If you need one, you take one. I just never, ever see the need for a statin drug. I don't see the need for it because it works, but it doesn't save you from heart disease, even 1 iota. So why is it good for you? To me, it's not. You take it, well, then understand the side effects. Okay? Just understand what is well established in terms of side effects. You lower cholesterol. Okay. Let's talk about it. Now, the number one thing that I saw in my office on statin drugs was a condition called rhombolithiasis. Say that 3 times real fast. Leave it to medicine to give us a name like rhombolithiasis. What is that? It's when your muscles fall apart. When you get muscle wasting. Number one thing that I saw in my office, I remember a guy come into my office, okay? True story. I said, lift your arms. I can't. Like, you know, like, I said, what? Did you fall and break your arms? No. I said, are you on meds? Yeah. I said, are you on statin drugs? Yeah. That's the problem. That's why your arms ain't working. You have no idea how many times I saw that thing. Rhombolithiasis. Muscle wasting. Isn't it funny that even a pharmacist, doctors, if they do any reading, will agree that when you take a statin drug, you're going to be low in ubiquinol or CoQ10 as we know it. Okay, CoQ10, ubiquinol. That pathway, your body makes CoQ10. Every mitochondria that you own, and you have billions of them, needs CoQ10, ubiquinol. Okay? You learn that, maybe do you learn that in high school? I don't remember. But I learned it. I knew about CoQ10 in school in the 70s. And what's well established is statin drugs destroy CoQ10. And where do you have the most mitochondria? Okay? Where do you have the most mitochondria? In your heart? Where do you have the most battery packs? In your heart and in your brain. And everyone, I don't think there's any physician, pharmacist, scientist, or whatever would dispute what I just said. That statin drugs are famous for destroying CoQ10. You'll hear it even on commercials. My favorite CoQ10 is ubiquinol, and there's a doctor on there. And what they're saying is, if you're taking a statin drug, you need to be on CoQ10. But stay on your statin drug, right? And then we'll give you CoQ10. Stay on your statin, because, you might have a heart attack if you stop that. But here's CoQ10 too, okay? And you know what bugs me? It really bugs me. I'm really after this week, the pharmaceutical and the pharmacist who knows better. Your doctor, maybe he's not reading that much, but your pharmacist, they know every time they give out that medication of a statin drug and they don't recommend CoQ10, I want to scream, because that, my friend, is malpractice. Malpractice. They know it. But, CoQ10 is natural. And a lot of pharmacists, well, it's malpractice, guys. It is so well established. Rhombolithiasis is so well established as a side effect, and the destruction of CoQ10 is so well established with a statin drug, Lipitor, Crestor, Zocor, and you name the or. But they don't do it. Most of them. I'm not saying all. Most of them. I know that for a fact. It bothers me like you have no idea. That is malpractice, my friend. It's pharmaceutical, pharmacies, and pharmacists practice malpractice. They are guilty of malpractice for not doing it. It is such a destructive force. When you have CoQ10 being destroyed in your body, you need it. The most mitochondria are found in your brain, in your heart. Your heart's a muscle, for heaven's sakes. And one of the biggest side effects is rhombolithiasis. Wow. It's right in front of us. It's right there. Everybody knows it. But we are lowering your cholesterol. It's a price you have to pay. I don't buy it, guys. I never bought it. I never bought it. Why do you want to lower it? Blaming cholesterol is like blaming the police. They're at the crime scene. Well, they're not the bad guy. Blaming the firemen. They're at a fire. They're not the bad guy. They're there to put the fire out. Cholesterol is delivery. They deliver. Oh. 50% of women, this is how bad it is, that get on a statin drug become diabetics. Well established. I reported this on my radio show 25 years ago. Hot off the presses. Diabetes is associated with statin drugs. 50%, especially women. Oh yeah, but I got your cholesterol down. Yeah, you're a diabetic now, but don't worry about that. We got a drug for that too. Oh! Do you see? Guys, you better get me a med to lower my blood pressure. Because I'm getting excited. Ooh, I can't handle it. Okay, rhombolithiasis, low CoQ10, diabetes, 50% of women that start a statin drug to lower their cholesterol become diabetics. Oh, I got so much cement in that head. Oh. And obviously, one of the big things now is Alzheimer's dementia. There are researchers out there. I listened to one last week talking about why is there so much dementia today in comparison. Like obviously dementia's been around, right? But why so much more today, and especially younger people? Well, this researcher said, number one reason, the introduction of statin drugs. You lower your cholesterol, you're lowering the fat, the cholesterol in your brain. Oh. Let me give you a couple of things that it lowers too. It works. But here's what it lowers. It lowers your vitamin K2. Okay? It lowers vitamin K2. Now, you guys know me. I love vitamin K2. We put it in our vitamin D because vitamin K2, why it's so important for you. Because K2 takes calcium. Do you need calcium? 100% you need calcium. But you don't need calcium staying in your bloodstream. You want it parked. K2 parks your car. K2 takes calcium and parks it in your bones and your teeth. You don't want calcium in your bloodstream. Well, you want a little bit, okay? That's what K2 does. Why do I want you eating eggs? One of the reasons. Got K2 in there. Got calcium and K2. God gave you an egg to eat. Why? Calcium, one of the reasons. Calcium, you want to eat calcium. You don't want to supplement the calcium, you want to eat it. Right? And K2 takes it and parks it where it belongs. Eggs, meat, and cheese. Okay? Eggs, meat, and cheese. Got the memo? Where are you? Animal kingdom. Cholesterol. When you eat it. But you're also getting calcium with K2. Exactly what you need. And here's what I found in my office all the time. People that were on statin drugs, you know what they were lowering? Almost, I can hardly think of an exception. Vitamin D. Vitamin D. Yep. Neuropathy. Major side effect of a statin drug. I talked to you about rhombolyophthisis, which is muscle, but there's a big issue with tendons. People that ripped their tendons, shoulders, arms, elbows, wrists, and they go, oh, gee, I got tendonitis. Yeah. You got statinitis. Tendons become fragile, become inflamed. Vitamin K2 low. Very, very damaging to the liver. If you're on a statin drug and you're not getting a liver test done every couple of months, your physician is really practicing malpractice. Yeah. You want to be checking your liver enzymes. Statin drugs are famous for elevating your liver enzymes, liver damage. Famous for it. Here's one. Statin drugs affect your adrenal glands. Add renal on top of kidneys. They diminish your DHEA in your adrenal glands. New study came out that statin drugs, okay, let me just give you a question. So why are you actually see vaccines for this, for shingles, right? Okay? The herpes virus. Now everybody's got the herpes virus. And when your immune system is working properly, your herpes virus stays dormant. But people can get herpes zoster, which is shingles. And why is it today, here we are in 2025, why is it today that shingles have gone through the roof in terms of numbers for people? Like shingles, I mean, not that I never saw it. Of course I did in my practice days, even in the 70s, 80s, but it was rare. But today, not rare anymore. And shingles ain't no fun. Why do we see so much of it? Well, one of the factors, according to research, are statin drugs. Okay? What's the mechanism exactly? Not 100% sure why, other than we know that cholesterol is very important for transporting your hormones and transport your, like I said, your vitamin K2 and other things that can affect your vitamin D. That was what I was saying, but it don't matter. That's a fact. Shingles are on the uptick, and one of the reasons, according to research, is statin drugs. I'll give you one more. Oh, two more. Okay? Again, research. Low energy. That's a major thing, right? When your energy is low. Well, CoQ10. Oh, like you need that. Your body makes it. And in men, erectile dysfunction. A big, big side effect of statin drugs. Lowers your testosterone, men. That's not good. But remember, you need those FedEx, Amazon, whatever truck you like on the highway, you need those transporting your hormones. And men, testosterone. Now, women need testosterone too. Eensy beensy, a little bit. But men, we need testosterone. And boy, there's a shortage of that today. Okay, I'm done. You'll never hear me talking against statin drugs again, ever. Till tomorrow. I promise, I won't talk about it. I won't be negative until tomorrow. But you guys, you have to admit, come on, admit it with me, right? I've been consistent about this, right? It's not like Dr. Martin changed his tune. No, I've been singing that tune for a long time. You got to admit that. Okay, so tomorrow we'll talk about antibiotics. So this is a 3-part series on medications that create a boatload of side effects. Okay? Okay. We love you guys. Friday is what? Q&A. So get your questions in. Okay? We really appreciate those Q&A and often pours into Monday. Okay? We can't handle all the questions, but I get to them, do I not? Okay? Somebody accused me yesterday, said, you didn't answer my question. Well, if I didn't see it, I can't answer it. Now, maybe I missed it. That's possible. Okay? I always pull out my senior card. Okay? And say, I'm a senior. I get mulligans because I'm a senior. Okay? I love that card. I use it all the time. Okay. We'll talk to you soon.